Mama. Somewhere in this block are 2 judges. I want him dead. Until I get what I want, the block is locked down. All clan, every level. Hunt the judges down. After the judges.
You better move.
Sit tight. Or run. Makes no difference, you're mine.
Welcome to 30 and Nerdy. I'm AJ.
I am the law.
I'm Brady.
I am the law.
My name is David.
I am the law. Judgment time.
Hey Dave. Hey Bray.
Hey, what's up?
What's going on?
Not much.
Guess what I did this morning?
Nothing.
I woke up at 5 in the morning just to watch Judge Dredd.
Not Judge Dredd. Dredd.
It's based off the comic book Judge Dredd.
But you watched Dredd, not Judge Dredd. Judge Dredd is the crappy one. I am the law. I am the law.
Everybody knows there's only one official movie, and that's the one with Carl Urban.
You just, when you do say that, though, you have to kind of like cock your jaw down so that you get the Sylvester Stallone talk. I am the law.
Yeah. I am the law.
Use only one side of your mouth.
I am the law.
You kind of have to.
I am the law.
You have to talk like the one guy from Caddyshack. It's a no.
Never seen it.
I'm not into that.
I think you freaky.
But yes, this week we are talking about Dredd, which came out in. I'm trying not to use IMDb
12.
Yeah, because it's no, didn't it come before that?
No. Wait.
I was
Judge Dredd?
I was dating
Dredd.
No. Dredd
Dredd's
came out
2012.
when I was dating Paige, which was in early 2012.
Yep.
Or mid 2012.
Yeah, because I guess it is 5, almost probably about 6 years that the movie has been out.
It's the only movie that's effective at having a bad person named Mama.
This goes into the Mama clan.
But goddamn, I it's been a while since I watched it. I knew I loved it, but it was just so good. Now, what about you guys? Would you try slow-mo in real life? 'Cause
Yeah.
I fucking would.
Yeah. As long as it's not addictive. And
Yeah.
it doesn't
yeah.
burn my teeth.
Oh,
and
yeah.
gums.
So you're a no then. So
Like
I'm assuming it's addictive.
Pharmaceutical slow-mo. Yeah.
I would
Pharmaceutical
love
stuff
to
is
see
never addictive.
everything go at 1/100th of a second in bright and sparkly with the aesthetic. I'd listen to Vaporwave.
I want to make Kraft mac and cheese and eat it with slow-mo so I get to enjoy that deliciousness for even longer.
With a little extra butter and milk.
Oh.
Make it nice and creamy.
Literally,
Oh, yeah.
if I could eat just Kraft mac and cheese every day and not become like
Die.
Just die, I would totally do it.
So he doesn't want to become me. I'm the big blob over here.
Are you dead?
On the inside,
No, but I think I would just skip that phase and die. It'd just be like, "Gah."
I don't think Kraft mac and cheese is going to give you a heart attack, my son. It's
Use
powdered cheese.
half a stick
Yeah,
of
but
butter.
what's in that powdered cheese? It's
Oh.
basically poison.
It's goodness.
Man, everything's poison.
So KJ accidentally dumped one of the Kraft Mac, like the Easy Mac cups. So, and it was before she got the water in it. So she just threw like the cheese packet aside. Well, the other day I made me and Lola some mac and cheese for lunch, and I did a double dose of that powder. It was so good. By the way, I was looking around on Facebook and I see that David loves ASMR videos. So if you can tag David in all the ASMR videos, he would love it.
I would rather die than experience one of those.
This is one of the worst things that has come out from the YouTube. I would
Some
rather
people-
watch Logan Paul videos than
Ugh.
listen to
Ugh.
ASMR.
I'll just go outside and take a walk.
I didn't know dead people died like that.
This is one of the craziest things to ever happen to me. Besides that time I could see color with his glasses.
Oh, because he's colorblind. That's right.
Oh, that's
for the video he was.
for the
Oh,
video.
so he's not actually colorblind.
Who knows?
No.
Gosh, he's such an idiot.
But anyway, no, I saw that you commented like, I hate these videos. And I just wanted to get it out there that I see y'all posting to the page. Post those ASMRs and tag our own David in them.
Pass.
He'll love it.
All right, well, let's get on to Dredd. Beautiful movie. Absolutely. It is one of the best, if not the best, comic book movie to... or comic book to movie.
Absolutely. That and Hellboy 2.
It's really good.
I was thinking about just, like, trying to talk the whole entire time, like, yeah. Just the whole entire time, just in my car or in...
You don't look ready.
Where's your helmet?
You know what? I ended up sounding more like the Sling Blade guy.
I reckon I killed her with a Kaiser blade. And that's what they call a sling blade, is a Kaiser blade. Well, I done near killed her and I chopped her head off.
All I have to do is like the hand twisty thing, and I'll like snap straight into that character. Sorry. Dredd. Wonderful movie made in 2012. Okay, next topic. My ball sack is really wrinkly. I'm kidding.
Okay, what would everyone out of 10 rate it?
I'd give it a solid 8.5.
I'd probably be sitting at about an 8 to 9, somewhere in that range.
I was thinking 8.5 as well.
Nice.
8 to a light 9.
I'm feeling a strong 8 to a light 9 on this one.
Yep. This is not perfect,
No.
but I don't think it's trying to be. That's the good thing.
Yeah, like I mean, they make it enjoyable. It's something. It's definitely a popcorn flick.
Yeah, it feels like a video game movie too.
Yeah.
Like, it's the best comic book and game movie ever made.
Well, because everything just happens to work out right for him. But it's just like, oh,
Well, it's because he's the best.
let's follow.
He's Dredd.
Let's follow a day in the life of Dredd while he has Weenie Anderson with him.
Yeah.
And I did like...
She's a failure. I don't want her.
And I did enjoy, because we now live in this culture where we need, I don't know how to say this without sounding like
Mutants?
a jackass. No. Where people want to have a strong female character, and it's kind of an agenda where people have to push it. But in this movie, it just worked really well. It didn't feel like it was being, like, here's a woman, and she is strong. It just felt very organic. It felt like it wasn't being pushed. She just was a very strong character.
held
She wasn't a
her
strong woman. She just was a strong character. And that's what I enjoy in movies, is when...
Well, yeah, organically, your character is
Yeah.
really strong because she actually believes in doing right and
Yeah.
doing just.
And I did like how Judge Dredd kind of talked. He didn't just go foo-foo on her answer, but he thought it was admirable that she wanted to go into blocks like Peachtree and try and turn them around from the tenement blocks that they turned into.
Yeah.
And I like that he didn't just crap on it and be like, nope, this is a hopeless cause. You're an idiot for believing in this.
Like the three guys from later in the movie. We'll get to them later.
But I just loved how everything just flowed really well. The movie was fast-paced. There was enough dialogue. There wasn't too much. There wasn't too little. I
That
thought
was
it
like
just
the
was...
shortest 90 minutes of my life.
Yeah. It's perfectly timed, too.
It hits the beats and it
And
keeps going.
The thing I did like is because you see the progression of the character where she is in the interrogation room and she's just kind of psychically reading that Judge Dredd is sitting there or standing there, and then she goes to Peachtree's, and then she still is a very green rookie,
Oh yeah, most definitely.
and they go into that room, and I don't think she fired a gun as far as I can
until she had to shoot the dude in the head,
and
then she feels terrible for it because she ended up killing
That
a
one
kid's
lady's-
father.
Yeah.
But that's the thing that I liked, is that because a lot of times movies will get up to that point where she has the gun at the guy's head and she's like, I can't do it. But she has a job to do. And this is kind of the authoritarian right where you're giving up a lot of your freedoms where he's a judge, jury, and executioner, or she is.
Yeah.
And so there's no due process. It's just, I saw you do this. Here's the punishment. Accept it or die.
Yep.
And most people are like, well, I'm not going to the ISO cubes.
Okay.
Screw you.
All right.
Hot shot.
Yeah.
Recycle.
I said,
The
hot
greatest.
shot.
I love it. Hot shot. So no, like in the beginning, they have that, and they have the little back and forth, and she's like kind of reading them, and I love that like the chief is just like, all right, that's enough, because we don't need to delve into the character of Dredd.
Yeah,
We know that he's angry, and he has a sense of justice, and that's what he lives for.
he's the ultimate good guy.
Yeah.
That's the best part is he could be a villain like that, but no, he's just good.
Yeah. I mean, but other people don't see him as that way.
Yeah, I guess
They just know he's a fucking hard ass.
Yep.
But I love like in the beginning where it's just like, we'll go to this thing. It's just like they point out Peachtree and they get there.
Yeah.
And
Call it.
yeah, there's the vagrant just sitting there. He's like, call it, rookie. Technically should get 3 months in ISO cube for vagrancy, but we'll let it pass. Why? We got something more important to get to. I already heard that.
Be gone.
Be gone by the time we get back. And then I love like that they come back later, and he pays the price for not being gone.
Yep.
He gets fucking crushed by the fucking war plates.
And I love the fact that they pan up to the blast door closing.
I am glad that they
love
do
it.
that, but then they don't like show any nastiness because there's a lot of gore in this. But
Dude, like
It's
this
the perfect
movie, this
line.
movie is like surprisingly like everybody that knows me knows how much I hate gore.
Yeah.
I can't watch it. I can't stand it. For some reason, in this movie, the way that it's portrayed, a lot of it is probably because it's portrayed while in slow mo.
yeah,
Yeah.
and it's very stylized, very hyper colored.
Oh yeah, like the brightest brights and the darkest darks.
Yeah, and besides those portions of gore, it's not really glorified. It's just this super cop shooting people that are.
But see,
I don't know, they
even in
can't-
the gore, because the guy gets like his whole half of his face blown
Well,
off, but
yeah,
it still
but-
looks beautiful. I
Yeah.
mean, it's odd to say that, but it looks.
yeah,
Yeah, it's the prettiest mouth shot I've ever seen in my life.
But I mean, just the regular, what people would consider gore, isn't that bad either because it's just quick. Like the people just getting shot.
Yeah,
all
that's
the
true
time.
too. Like this movie, really, like the goriest shit is kind of like when they show the splattered remains of
Yeah,
the three skinned dudes,
Yeah, that was.
that was
and then they
brutal.
kind of show like a little bit of the skinning when Anderson goes
Ugh.
into that dude's mind,
Yeah,
and then
Well, they show it in the
and
beginning too.
You get to see her tits.
you can see her boobs. Yeah,
yeah,
That's the
and
first
she's
time
got
I
really
noticed
nice juggies.
And she really hasn't, because it's something Thrillby. Can't think of her first name.
Yeah, she hasn't done much.
Yeah, but she hasn't done
I'm
much
surprised.
since that. And I'm
'Cause
hoping,
she's really good.
that. She's good.
because I'm on
actress.
the, whatever that fan page is where we want a Dredd sequel. I would even be okay with, I would love to have like a Dredd TV series with Carl Urban, of course.
Well, I mean, he's the
Done
person
by-
who's pushing it.
Yeah.
Like he wants another one,
And
and
no one else should play Dredd. He is the perfect person for Dredd.
not Sylvester Stallone.
No, because because Carl, he grew up reading the comics, so he already had a gauge on who the character was, and
And he understands, and the directors do, and they actually listen to the comic book writers.
yeah,
And it's just exactly like Ryan Reynolds, where they know what the role is, and they know how to play it, and they do it very well.
yeah,
And I love that in this one, even in the very beginning when he doesn't have the helmet on, but he turns, and then his head and part of his shoulders in the darkness when he puts his helmet on.
Mm-hmm.
I love that you don't see Carl Urban's face. You just see from his mouth and down. And that it's all, I mean, and that's all he needs to convey all the emotion and everything. I mean, it's not like a broad range, like he's super happy and he's very mad and sad. But I
He
mean, the
has his
emotions that he
own
has,
palette
yeah,
of
the palette that he
emotions,
has, it is absolutely phenomenal what he's able to get by just with that
I would
small
imagine
amount of his face.
outside of work, he probably is kind of like a normalish dude. Maybe, I don't know.
I feel like he's very loner.
yeah.
Goes
I
home.
feel like the second that helmet comes off, he's not Dredd, and he's asleep, and then he wakes up and the helmet goes back on.
Yeah,
That's kind of what I feel. He's just a robot.
Or maybe he's just like really good at chess.
Maybe he's
plays
just really
speed
good at
chess.
killing bad guys.
I think he would be really good at chess because there's certain times, and this is shooting way later in the movie when he has those 3 other judges come, and the guy says something to the effect of that it's just him. I can't remember what the line is.
Oh yeah.
But where Dredd picked up that she didn't mention the girl at all or something like that.
Oh yeah,
And
because the guy comes around to like put a final bullet in him, and he's like, "Got any last words?" He's like, "Wait."
No, not that time. The
Oh.
very first guy when they're at like the aqueduct type place where there's that little
Oh
bridge.
yeah, that's right.
And then he,
Why didn't you ask me about the rookie?
yeah, and then I just loved it where he did something like choke on it and then just bashes, and then
He just beats that guy's neck to death. It's
and then the guy's just
crazy.
like standing there slowly gurgling to
Yeah.
death.
I loved the fights with the other judges. That was awesome.
Yeah, they're definitely cool.
And I did like how, even without going into a lot of the lore of Judge Dredd, they said in just those few sentences, like, "Do you know who you're dealing with?" "No." "Well, I do. So here's my price."
Yeah, $1
Yeah.
million or credits or whatever.
I think it was per judge or something. I can't remember. Oh yeah, it was just 1 million credits.
it was just 1 million credits split 4 ways. Now
Yeah.
3 ways, thanks to you.
Yeah.
And then they have like that one person going for what's her face? I think it's like another chick
Yep. I-
judge going for
And I was really-
Anderson.
I was really glad that this movie didn't go for all the stupid, action movie where she's like, "Oh, you're my friend," where she instantly she's on edge. She's not accepting that anybody is her friend besides Judge Dredd. That they're on her side, and that their lady's like, "No, put down your gun," and then she just instantly shoots her. And I like that
Well,
they didn't go
I-
through the normal trope of like, "Oh, she's my friend. She's a judge. Oh, hooray! Oh, I almost die. I kill her. Finally!" It just
Instantly,
bam,
all
gone.
I thought was like she could psychically read her bullshit like that.
Oh, you're
even
right.
through her helmet.
Well, she doesn't need to. The helmet affects her. It doesn't affect her ability to read other people with helmets on because Judge Dredd had his helmet on in the.
Yeah, but she wasn't fully getting everything. She was just kind of like, I sense sort of this, sort of
that
that.
part you were just talking about is one of my favorite lines in the movie, where he's like, "You forgot your helmet." It's like, "Oh, it impedes my psychic abilities." Pretty sure a bullet would do that too.
Yeah, it's so good.
I just love his little snarks.
Yeah,
He's great.
just like the smallest amount of snark. And I mean, the movie like balances this fine line between too serious and not serious, and it.
Because I think there's some funny parts in it.
Oh yeah, most
Yeah.
definitely.
And
And then there's like purely tragic parts, like especially when they're like the 3 are going nuts with the chain guns.
oh yeah, just killing innocent bystanders.
And like all I can think of is like all those kids, all those people who aren't part of the gang stuff. I mean, because you got to imagine like each of these mega blocks. Yeah, they're being ran by these gangs, but there's normal everyday people
Yeah, they're just living their
there
lives.
trying to survive.
Well, and even the guy who she killed, and then whose house she actually wound up going into, and then reading the girl or the lady's mind, and then looking at the picture and seeing him, who she just killed like literally 10 minutes ago. And I mean, the wife is begging him not to go, and you can see that he doesn't really want to go. So it's not that even the people in the mega block who are part of the gang aren't really. It's just kind of like in today's society, certain sects inside the inner city are forced more or less by being pushed into those types of roles because that's all that they have available to them. And so that's all that's available in these blocks is you either join the Mama clan or you die.
I don't
so-
think "or you die" is like always an option for them, though. I mean, but just kind of like the
Join the
example-
Mama Clan or have a way better chance of dying.
Yeah. But yeah, like I love like the whole backstory to Mama, where it's just like, oh yeah, she was a hooker, and then she bit her pimp's dick off,
Yep. Now she's in charge.
and now she's in charge. She took over the judged and the other gang. I forget what it is, but the judge I always remember because they paint the judge faces on it. And I was like, they're like new age juggalos.
And I completely forgot Donald Gleason was in this movie. The guy with the robot eyes.
Oh yeah,
What else is he playing?
Commander Hux in the new Star Wars movies. He was in what's it called? Ex Machina.
I'll tell you what,
redhead dude.
I wouldn't recognize him in anything because of the way that he portrayed his character. Which
Yeah.
was spot on.
He always ends up playing like the squirrely.
Yeah, but I mean,
loser
like,
dude. But yeah,
he was scared, and you could feel that he was scared.
yeah, he's broken.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
And that also shows that Dredd isn't just this one-minded killing machine, that he has compassion for him, or at least he doesn't have compassion, but Anderson does.
And
And-
he's like, "Why are you letting him go?"
He's like, he's fine, don't worry about him. He's like, fine. And then the two kids that are pointing the guns at him.
Oh
they
yeah,
didn't shoot them.
he tries to get it
Yeah.
to not have to deal with them
Yeah.
horribly.
I'm sure deep down there's a warm caramel center in him, but
Kind of like our planet.
Yeah, doing his job, I'm sure it
I feel
beats
like
that
he's-
down into submission.
I know that you guys won't like this,
Oh.
but I feel he is like, because what's his name
From The Witcher?
No,
Okay.
Bruce Willis plays a character in the Friends TV series, and he's like this hard, gruff guy. But then Rachel gets him to open up, and then like he starts crying, and then he's talking about his whole entire childhood and why he is the way he is in adulthood because
that
of
when
these
he's-
things.
Is that when he stole his hair? Was he doing his singing career?
No,
Oh, okay.
maybe I don't know about the singer, but and so I feel like Judge Dredd would be like that. If he opened that door, you wouldn't be able to close it again.
It would be like the
Despite
therapy
Friends
sessions from Sopranos.
I mean, I don't know. I kind of don't want to see that though.
I mean, I
I
don't need to.
Yeah.
He reminds me a lot of Master Chief. He's just this
Killing
faceless killing machine who's a force of good,
And he has
and he has
Indomitable
personality.
will.
Yeah, and
I mean,
That's all
like,
I need to know.
I think anyway, to be a judge in that time period where it's like it's the final city, it's the last city.
yeah,
This is it. I mean, to be a judge in that setting, I mean, you have to have a certain mindset anyway. So,
well, it's not the final city, but it's one of.
I
few.
thought it was like
No, 'cause Mega
the
City
last
1.
mega city.
And there's several megacities all across the United States
but
and
this one
UK
is like
and stuff like that.
like half of the eastern.
It's basically from
Yeah, it's
like
from-
New York to Boston.
Yep, New York to Boston. It's fucking huge.
800 million people. They said.
Yep.
Damn.
And that's about 2.5 times more than the American population right now.
Why can't we? Couldn't they all just get along?
And here's the thing, because everybody points out, where he says, there's 17,000 crimes and 6,000 of them are major crimes. And people are like, well, New York City right now, and they see more calls technically, but at a much smaller,
Rate.
a much smaller population, and also, I think, probably you're not dealing with the same type of crime that you would expect in Megacity 1 as
Yeah,
opposed
exactly.
to... somebody
Everything
broke into-
seems like
yeah,
if there's crime happening there, it's not just like some kid spray painting a dick somewhere.
yeah. It's
It's like
getting their
somebody's
heads cut
getting their
off.
fucking head shot.
Yeah.
And it's funny because, not funny, but the callousness with which life is viewed, even in the first section where the guy's gone on a rampage and he's killed people inside that little
Yeah.
the shopping mall, and then they're just like dragging around the cleaning thing, and the bodies are in the back, and he's
Oh yeah, in the
sweeping up
meat
the
wagon,
blood.
and it's like, we will be open again in 45 minutes. Please wait.
Well, with that many people densely populated, I'm sure that brings the chance of death happening around you up exponentially. So they're probably just used to.
I don't
Bad
know.
shit.
It's a crazy world that you would have to think of though,
you think
because it's
they-
a post-atomic.
Do you think they have their version of the Hamptons where they're like riding horses and trimming
Well,
hedges?
you know what?
still?
have to.
I would believe that there is still a highly rich
Oh yeah,
regime that runs everything, and then everybody else is in the slums. No matter what happens, that's always going to happen, whether you have a democracy or any other type of ocracy.
yeah.
Yeah, it's
Any
it's the way that the
government
world
that
is.
takes over, there's always going to be a rich elite that is the creamy center, and they get like these beautiful things while everybody else kind of
Lives in
shits
peach
bricks.
trees.
Yeah, they live in
Kilometer
Peachtree.
tall mega structures.
Fucking crazy though, and in just like the CGI work for the city skyline,
Yep.
wonderful. I loved it,
And they shot most of it, I think, like all the little drone shots and stuff like that in South Africa, Cape Town or something like that. Johannesburg, there we go. That's one.
There is, I think...
Which is crazy because a lot of stuff
they actually have a building that resembles peach trees. Like, not that same size, but it's the same
style.
Layout. Yeah, just this central tube. And then...
Oh, well, they have a lot of those in China.
Yeah.
That's how they do a lot of the housing in China, actually.
Like,
It's kind of funny, weird, bad.
Yeah.
Funny, weird, bad. Kind of makes you feel funny, kind of makes you feel weird, kind of makes you feel bad inside your butt.
This is one of the worst places to feel bad.
Yeah, I hate feeling bad inside my butt. You know what feels even worse? Feeling bad in your dick.
Ugh. Don't even get me started on that.
You ever felt bad in your vagina?
I don't have one.
Oh.
Yet.
I thought Brady had a mangina. But anyway.
Dredd.
Great fucking movie. So anyway, all of that stuff happens, and then the perfect little... This is what I meant by, like, everything just works out right for him. Because they have the 3 people on the chain gun going like... And then they shoot just like a tiny hole through the actual structure's wall by concentrating fire.
Yep.
And he's like... And they're like, fuck it, jump! And then they hit that
skate ramp.
that half pipe that they show way earlier in the movie. Then it shows it's like way the fuck off the ground.
Mm-hmm.
It's like if they would have jumped, they would have just died.
Yeah.
If that hadn't have been there. And instead they're just like... And I'm like, well, that's convenient. What a MacGuffin.
Just got good luck.
But I mean, I don't know. The whole movie from that point on though is still great. The trick thing that he does when he's like talking through the intercom, I'm coming for you, mama, or whatever the fuck he says.
Doesn't he?
Coming.
I'm the law. He does the...
Oh yeah, he does.
But he does it way better than Sylvester Stallone.
Oh yeah.
He's like, I
Is this-
am the law.
That is probably the best. That did give me chills when I watched it again, just because it's such a great line and he delivers it so well.
Yeah, he does a really good job with it. But then, like, he hangs one of the already dead people inside of the booth,
Yeah.
and they're all like shooting at it, and then he just comes out and he's like, "Is that when he goes like fireball?"
No, fire. The hot shot is
Sure, yeah.
and that's in the very first part when he's talking to the guy before he pops him in the head with the hot shot.
It's an incendiary round.
Or yeah, he uses an incendiary round and
like
just
a-
shoots it across, and then it's just. Which I want to know how their guns work.
It's so cool. It's one of the coolest sci-fi guns I've ever seen.
I would have to say, hands down, best sci-fi gun ever created.
Because I think partially, I don't actually know this, but this is just how my guess is kind of in that housing the front is where all the different types of ammunition. So I think it's a standard bullet inside the clip, and then it gets attached to a Hi-X round or an incendiary or whatever.
That makes
Because the
sense.
other judge kind of talks about how he knows he's out because he used like his Hi-X round to blast the one black judge's head into smithereens.
Oh, that's right.
And then I'm assuming the Hi-X is something that you don't use very often or don't have a lot of.
Well, it's probably like your last-ditch effort. Hi-X to me sounds like it's going to be able to penetrate.
A lot.
It definitely penetrated his
Super
head.
heavy.
Yeah.
He did not have a head.
Oh, and I love the fact that it DNA checks, and if it's wrong DNA, it just fucking explodes.
No,
That
it
guy
just
was-
fires backwards.
No, because it blew off his hand.
It blew off his hand.
Yeah, because that.
Oh, is that what it did?
Yeah.
I for some reason in my head, I just see it like blowing his head off.
No, because
That would be cool. Full autos. Anti-heroes.
But no, that was.
They actually are working on technology to
They kind of
DNA
do have.
locked
Yeah. Which I think
guns.
is a great idea.
They don't explode. You just can't operate the
Yeah.
trigger.
Yeah, I've heard about DNA locks.
I think that's
You know
an
what's-
excellent idea.
You know what's crazy though? The NRA's against them.
Oh yeah, of course they are.
That's a shame.
I did like how close to the end of the movie, as they're leading up to Mama, and
Mama.
or the mama and Judge Dredd,
And Dada.
kind of their meetup. I did like how she attached that explosive to her, and then I really, really, really liked.
Well, it was a dead man switch.
Yeah, and I liked how he is so single-mindedly focused that he kind of weighed the pros and cons. That he had a job to do. His judgment was death, and so he gave her a hit of slow-mo and tossed her out the window.
Was brutal.
Fucking perfect.
And the thing I loved is that, I mean, he took the chance that he might blow up and kill tons and tons of people, all because that's what he does.
Yeah.
He carries out the law the way that it's supposed to be.
You could tell how mad, just angry he was when he, by the way, he chucked her out the window. It was so fucking violent. Just, it's like, oh my god.
And then he just stands there. Which I could not imagine falling 200 floors on something that slowed down your brain's input rate to like.
I just wonder how, because I mean, your body isn't traveling any less quickly, even though the slow-mo makes you feel like that. So I don't even know if those feelings would be able to, like, would fear even be able to bubble up into the.
Well, yeah, because they're seeing it all. Like, what happens is, so you only perceive time as time is perceived to you.
To his relative.
Yeah, time is relative to each person. So, if you give them that hit of slow-mo, they're going to perceive time going, but when it's really like, that was a slow-mo.
Very good.
Very good. Am I getting it to you, kiddies? You getting the thingy in your brain? Do you understand the words that are coming out of my
You're
mouth?
making the thinkies.
Anyway, what I was trying to get at is that they're going to perceive time at the speed that their brain says it's going. So they will see everything. And I do think what'll happen is, even though they're falling, that what they feel is that slow, your brain is still comprehending at normal speed. Because you can see that when they go to, because there's those two kids like getting high in the very beginning of the movie, and he like pulls the gun out to shoot Dredd, but like everything's in slow motion for him, but he still comprehended, hey, I need to kill this guy. So you still comprehend snap second like that, but you watch everything that's going to happen.
I just feel, I don't know, I just feel like there has to be some kind of sensory overload where there seems like, because if time is slowing down, your brain is,
Well, I'm sure it feels pretty crazy.
I mean, there has to be some kind of sensory overload to where you can't perceive everything that is coming at you.
We're talking about a drug that doesn't exist, and we're trying to imagine it, what the effect of it would be if it did exist. We're only given a small context of what it does in the movie. We don't know the full chemical makeout of it, so we can't really understand what it does to the brain. All we can do is comprehend that in the movie it shows that you understand every second or not second that you're falling.
Well,
Because
I mean,
it
what I'm
shows
saying
they're
is
like going
even-
through like a full range of emotions from like anger to just like and then pretty much at the end it's just like acceptance because she just like moves her arms back and just face first, blood splatter like
That was a pretty cool ending sequence.
It was a good
for
shot.
Death. I would expect that there would be a lot less of her like
left. Oh yeah, most definitely.
but they had to show it that
Oh.
stylized way.
All three of those, or like all four people that had gotten thrown over that, they would not be at all visible whatsoever. It'd just be a splat.
It's gelatinous goo.
Pretty lumpy splat.
Yeah, really lumpy splat.
It'd be like throwing
Salsa con carne.
Yeah.
like a yeah,
Bone sticking out.
like you take a bunch of lunch meat and a bunch of salsa and put it in
Bowl?
a wheelbarrow
Ah.
and you dump it off the edge.
You could get the same thing from a pretty large bowl. Maybe a bucket.
Wouldn't you say that a wheelbarrow is
He
Is it
likes to
human
use his-
worth?
it's a is,
Brady likes to use his wheelbarrow.
I like them. They're neat.
One wheel in the front and two thingies in the back.
Yeah, it's all you need.
I'm so sorry that I completely ruined your serious talk about Judge Dredd. But I love this movie. I absolutely love this movie. Sorry, not Judge Dredd. Dredd.
Yeah.
Dredd.
He's thinking about taking your gun. Yeah. He's not anymore. Yeah.
Do you have to poop?
Yeah.
I mean, just think of it that way. He still has to wipe his ass like the rest of us.
Yeah. Sometimes I like to think, like, when I think, like, oh, everything sucks, like, you know what? Even Morgan Freeman has to sit down and squeeze a big ol' loaf.
Yeah, like he
out
probably
of
gets
that
constipated.
majestic butt.
He probably gets constipated,
His
or
palatial bathroom.
what I like to think of is them just like
His flat screen
having.
TV that pops
Made
up.
of pearls, everything. It's just crystal and pearl.
I don't know. I like to imagine, high-end celebrities just having pants shitting diarrhea all the time.
Where they're sitting there crying. Just,
Odd thought.
Well, no, it's because it makes me remember, like,
Just
they're
Jeff-
human just like me when I'm sitting in the toilet crying.
Jeff Bezos is there, just fourth shit of the day, and it
Fucking-
hurts, and it's spicy, and he has a robot
Sir
assistant
Ian
holding his
McKellen
hand.
just sitting there like, oh, please pass. Please pass.
Is that Patrick Stewart?
No, that was Ian McKellen from You Shall Not Pass.
I got it.
Brady got it. I don't even like Lord of the Rings, and I got it. I made it. Please pass. I guess that does kind of sound like a... Well, guess what? Sir Patrick Stewart has to have big meaty shits as well. Oh. It's like that part when he's with...
Number one. I'm going number two, and it hurts.
No, the one where he has the mind meld with Spock's father.
Yes.
And he's like, I hate you. I hate you. I love you. You make me proud. Ah!
That is a good episode.
That is a really
Very
good
good.
episode, yeah. But that's how I imagine he poops. He screams out, there are 4 lights. Only 4. Do you want me to continue? Or do you want to right this ship?
There's no writing this ship.
How many shells do you think they use?
Oh, God.
What?
Wasn't that Demolition
Why the
Man?
hell did you just bring Demolition? Is it because of
Stallone.
Stallone? You know, I never understood this.
for?
Well, how do you use the shells? How do you use them? Oh, we got this guy Wesley Snipes who's gonna shoot me. What he doesn't know is I am the law.
So why hasn't there been a sequel to Dredd yet?
Because it performed badly in theaters.
Did it?
It didn't get its huge pickup until afterwards because of the way it was marketed. They marketed it horribly.
Yeah.
I remember seeing previews for it in the theaters and being like, who the fuck would watch that? It looks like a piece of shit.
That's too bad. Because it deserves another one.
Most definitely. I completely agree with
Wonder
that.
if-
That and it was around the time when they were really pushing 3D.
Oh, yeah.
So
Who's going to pay
it
the
was
extra?
kind of like the double whammy where it's like it wasn't marketable to people because of the way they marketed it.
Yeah.
And then nobody wanted to pay extra to watch a 3D viewing. So it essentially, I don't think it fully tanked, but it did not do well. in the
Looks like it
theaters.
did worldwide 35 million.
And
And
how
it
much
was a
did it
production budget of 50 million.
Yeah, so that's considered a tank.
Yeah, that hard. That's
But then I would like to see like DVD sales and what they made from that, because I think
Well, yeah, that's where it picked back up.
I have a really bad Blu-ray transfer of it. Like, it's really, like, noisy picture-wise in some places.
Actually, that's how it's shot.
Is
it's,
it?
It's because of the way that they have to do 3D.
Okay, I was just making sure it wasn't
So
that transfer.
what happens is, because you sent me the ultraviolet code,
Yeah.
and I had the same
Because there were some parts where it was really nice, but then it was like
crisp and clear, but then
it was like fuzzy.
yeah, and it's because they're filming in a dark area, and what they have to do with 3D is like it already darkens down the picture, so they
Yeah.
try to raise up the brightness. When they do that, you see more of the imperfections.
Okay. There's
And that's
that.
why I kind of like that. I just have the 2D digital,
Oh,
so I
yeah.
don't notice any of that. It
I
just
don't
is
have
a
the-
crisp, beautiful.
Well, yeah, but
know.
that's just kind of like how it is. You probably don't perceive it because you have that big, beautiful TV.
I watched it in my room.
Oh, on your phone?
No,
Don't watch
'Cause I
my
have it.
movie on your fucking phone.
All right,
no,
David
because I
Lynch.
think one of the nights that one of the weekend nights, I just watched it because I was like, I'll be able to watch it and I won't have to either
Worry
turn it
about the
down
kids.
or yeah. Because I think I gave him melatonin, so they conked out.
I should
Take this
start
pill.
taking that.
Hmm?
I should start taking
Yeah,
that.
because it doesn't make you fall or stay asleep, but it helps you fall asleep.
That's what I need.
The thing is, though, is that you're fucking up with the natural brain chemistry, so you have to be careful about how much you use it.
I actually just get my Ambien script redone.
Yep. But then you probably will try to outwake the Ambien, and then you get the really fun high.
Oh, it's so fun. It's great. You trip hard.
Walking down the middle of the street.
Not knowing what car is real that's about to hit me.
Yep.
And it stops and I'm just in the tree like, oh no. Oh no.
Oh no. Hot head. Raw, no fucking filter, broken needle, hot head.
But I did a double feature the day I watched this. What was it, last Wednesday?
With
Blade Runner 2049.
So it's
yeah.
like 6 hours worth of movie right there.
Uh-huh.
Okay, it's like 5, but
I watched,
Blade Runner's only
Blade
like
Runner
2.5
first.
hours
I thought
long,
it was
isn't
3.
it?
it's 2 hours and 44 minutes.
There you go.
And
so it's about 5
to
hours.
not,
If that was a VHS release, that'd be on 3 VHS.
Yeah. I remember the last movie I ever watched on VHS that was that long was,
Titanic?
no, it was the,
Pearl Harbor.
yes. My parents had the whole set of Pearl Harbor.
The only thing that I ever watched full, or has at least 2 VHSs, was Gettysburg.
Yeah.
And that is a really good movie.
That is very good. But I would say, since they're both dystopian, you can kind of compare them, but there's no comparison.
Well, yeah, like, I mean, one's like a hyper violent.
And that is, speaking of hyperviolence, I did like that this one, even shot in 2012, reminded me a lot of those old 1980s movies where
Oh,
it
yeah.
was really odd gore, but it was still gory. And I just,
There's
I'm-
like a hugely gratuitous amount of where it's
Yeah.
almost overkill.
Yeah.
'cause I can't even remember what
It's
it is,
not that gross anymore. It's just comical.
Yeah.
but it just
Like
it,
a comic book.
Yeah.
It reminded me of that. 'Cause I think there was one where Thomas Jane was in it, and he was in some like penal colony, and this was the first time I'd ever seen like man nudity in a movie,
Yeah.
and it was dude. He was in
You
some
don't see
prison.
many penises.
Nope. And in this one, it's just a bunch of dudes walking down. They have to get their head stuck in this wall, and it basically shuts around their head, and they get something put in them so they can't leave certain areas. And some guy like starts freaking out and gets out of line, and then his stomach like just basically blows open.
Ooh.
And so I mean,
What movie is this?
I can't remember. It was I watched it like right when I moved here.
Oh, I want to know. First off, I want to see all them dicks.
I miss
I miss dicks.
I miss movies like that in the 80s though, that had practical gore effects,
Yeah.
where it was just some dummy's head exploding.
Yeah,
Like,
most definitely.
The head melting in
Raiders of the Lost Ark.
yes.
Yeah,
good
where
stuff.
wax.
Yep.
Or in Scanners when that dude's
Scanners.
head explodes.
One of the best head popping scenes of any movie.
Or RoboCop when they hit the dude with the car and he's all muted.
Yes.
And it's just like... Just
God.
like this huge gore bath.
We need to watch RoboCop for a 30 nerdy.
I'd buy that for $1.
Fucking when the comes into the boardroom and just
Okay, so I was a kid when that movie came out, and I mean, there was so much shit marketed to my age demographic for that. And I
Yeah.
was like 5 or 6, and I was like, I want a RoboCop lunchbox, and I want a RoboCop shirt, and I
didn't
want all
it
the...
get the X rating?
It almost got an NC-17 rating for the opening sequence when they shot him so many times,
Oh,
like at
yeah.
point blank range when
Yep.
Red, whatever his last name is, Foreman, from that 70s show.
Yep.
Bitches leave.
But yeah, I mean, all that, it's just like Dick Tracy was for an older audience, but they marketed all that shit to kids.
Yeah.
And now the coolest thing, because my Apple Watch makes me feel like Dick Tracy, because that was the one thing I dreamed of as a kid, having a watch where I could
think
talk to my friends.
We all dreamt of having that watch. I remember having like a fake one of those watches.
Yeah.
And, but mine was like the super cheap one, and then my friends at school had like the really nice one. They're like, get out of here, you loser. You don't have the real one. And I'm like, okay, so if I'm gonna die.
I always dreamed of having the Digimon thing that take me to the digital world.
Oh, yeah. Well, I always dreamed of having
yeah?
that Ben 10 thing so I could turn into a monster.
Now, wasn't Marilyn Monroe in that one, or who was the girl?
In
What?
Ben 10?
Ben 10?
No, not Ben 10. In Dick Tracy.
Dick Tracy.
Who was the girl in Dick Tracy?
Well, it wasn't Marilyn Monroe because she died a long time ago.
There was a girl who looked exactly like her.
Catherine Hepburn. Aubrey
No.
Hepburn.
Oh, it was Madonna. Duh.
Madonna.
I should know that.
I don't know.
They were going for
The
a
Marilyn
Marilyn.
Monroe lookalike.
Yeah. Every time I say Marilyn, though, I always want to say Manson. The beautiful people. The beautiful people. Oh!
But we have gotten more off topic, possibly than usual. But going back to Dredd, this I think is one of the best. I already said this, the best, probably comic book, maybe supplanted by Deadpool.
I think these two get it right because both of them were acted by people who inherently loved the source material.
And the
And
thing I like
Logan.
is that they go,
Logan as well.
yeah. And I like that all three of those movies are rated R, so they're not. And that's one thing I hate is where they want to pander to everybody
Well,
to get
here's the
that little
thing.
PG-13 rating.
Yeah.
I know somebody is already in the comments going, well, what about Blade? What about Blade? Blade was rated R. Brr, 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 brr. Yes, Blade was rated R. We get it.
And I did like Blade.
Blade was good. I had no inherent issue with Blade. But, I mean, you look at it now and it has not aged well.
Yeah. I mean, I still like it, and I still enjoy it, but yeah.
But, yes, technically it was the first rated R, hard R movie or
Comic book movie.
comic book movie. Yep, I'll give it to that. But it wasn't nowhere near as successful as Deadpool was. That's why everybody shits pants about Deadpool. Because they showed that you can have a hard R comic book movie and have it perform well.
Yeah.
Exceedingly well. Yeah.
Yeah, this movie wouldn't have been nearly as good if they had to tiptoe around a PG-13.
Ugh, it would have been awful.
Just
I would not.
Bloodless gunshots and
I don't think it would have worked at all
like,
because
you know,
I
one
mean,
fuck
like,
and like
Because in that kind of
a couple
dystopian
shits.
future, I mean, you wouldn't get that 80s style gore and grit.
Yeah.
I think the thing about it is if this movie were to carry PG-13, they would have had to change the entire fucking story. Because you can't have a movie about like heavy narcotics and showing everybody doing heavy narcotics
True.
in a PG-13 film anymore.
And just murders.
Yeah, thousands of people die in this movie,
Yeah.
or at least it feels that way. You watch the cast; it's really small cast.
Mm-hmm.
They do really well with
And I
such
think-
a small cast.
Was it you who was telling me that, or I can't remember, maybe it was somebody else, but they used basically the same two corridors, and they would just flip it around and change like the aesthetics, like
Yeah.
a door here, or a picture here, or
the
this.
corners, they would do that.
Yeah.
and they
It
would
wasn't
just-
me,
They would just swap it out for their needs.
but still, I
So that's
mean,
pretty cool.
They still were budget shooting this film, but they pushed all that 3D, and I think that's really what fucked this movie.
Yeah.
And I
Because
feel,
$45 million, that's pretty modest.
especially for like a 2012 3D movie. Hell yeah, that's super
Yeah.
modest.
It's a shame it didn't make more. I was going to say, could we crowdfund it? But that's a lot to crowd.
That's a lot of crowdfunding, my friend.
Well, if 45
I mean, like you have
50 million people gave $1, we could do it.
you
It's that
have the
simple.
guy
Power to the people.
who plays Bones.
God damn it,
as-
Jim, I'm a doctor.
I'm a judge. not a doctor.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and he's out there telling people, please make, and if he can't pull weight,
Yeah.
you know,
Well,
but it's something.
he seems to be in a lot of flops. Because wasn't he in the Assassin's Creed movie?
No, that was Michael Fassbender.
Was it?
Yep.
Oh, okay. I couldn't remember which white guy was in that
That was
movie.
Magneto.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Perfection.
And he also
Show me
played
the real Dark
android
Souls.
in
I meant the real Dark Souls.
In the Prometheus
Prometheus,
and
yeah.
New Alien Covenant movie.
Oh yeah, he's the robot.
Yep. Does a very good job at it.
Well, yeah, I mean,
He's just a good actor.
yeah. I like Fassbender. I ain't got an issue with the guy.
Yep.
He just made a really shitty movie about
a-
a video game.
He's better than Slowbender by a long shot. Ah, come on. Come
So
on.
the whole time we were gearing up for this, I had to keep telling myself not to call him Keith Urban, the country singer,
country dude.
and I was like, it's Carl. It's Carl. Carl Urban. Carl Urban.
Carl.
I was afraid the first thing I was going to say on this is like, Keith Urban is great in this movie.
We just call him Mr. Urban so we don't remember his first name.
That Urban feller.
Urban Meyer? The
Urban Meyer Wiener?
successful coach of the Ohio State Buckeyes football team. I think that's Urban Meyer.
Hey, speaking of football,
Nope, that's okay. We don't have to go there.
riots in the streets.
You got lucky, Eagles.
Let's leave it at that. Everybody can just feel the pain through their headphones or the speakers that they're listening to right now of Brady's heart just shattering.
And I didn't watch hardly any of that game until the third quarter when they went up by 1 point. And then I watched until Brady fumbled. And then I turned it off. So I was like, that's game unless the defense can turn around. I didn't want to watch.
Did you see that when they passed it to Tom Brady?
Did
The greatest quarterback to ever play the game, and they're throwing a pass to him?
Did he catch the ball, or did he just
No.
kind of... Because I think I remember... Was he like this? I mean, seriously,
Have you seen that man try to run? It's like he's got sticks tied to his legs so they don't bend. He's the
All I know
lightest man in the world.
Is that my dad was talking to me on the phone when it was on, and he's just like, I love watching the Patriots lose. And he wanted me to tell you all sorts of shit talk. He's just like, Tom Brady sucks fat cock.
No, he
Da
doesn't.
da 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 da. And I was just like, I'll pass it on. So here I am passing it on to you
Okay.
on our podcast.
Well,
How much my dad really just wanted to tell you how much the Patriots can suck the big one.
Well, we lost one game, but we are still one of the most winningest teams ever play the game. Have the best quarterback to ever play the game. I mean,
I just can't believe the Eagles won.
we've been
Who
in
would
so,
have thought
we've
the
been in
fucking
so many
Eagles?
Super Bowls. It's just like this is like a normal game. We lost.
And the
We'll
funny
be
thing
back
is,
again
that's the
next year.
most yardage, I think, in any game.
ever in any Super Bowl ever.
That's just great.
By the third quarter, there was over 1,000 total offensive yards,
Which means
insane.
that the defense did not show up on either team.
Yeah, everybody's like, "Oh, Matt Patricia's going to coach at Detroit." I'm like, "Fuck him, good riddance, dickhead. You lost the game for us."
Yeah, by sitting, what's his name?
Don't even, yeah. And then Blunt come back to. He's like, "Yeah, cut Blunt. We don't need him because we're the Patriots. We cut all of our star players." Guess what? He fucking won a Super Bowl for the Eagles against us. Thanks, guys. All right.
Those desserts were just.
I just like laser focus farted into this couch.
That's all right. I've farted into that couch.
It reminds me of the line from Scrubs, where Elliot Reed is sitting across from Dr. Kelso after he's retired, and she's talking about how she misses JD or something like that, and how this was like the place where they first sat and when they fell in love or something like that. He's like, "Oh well, I'll try to stop drilling farts into the chair," or something like that. he says it way better than I did, but
Of course.
it's hilarious.
But anyway, I think that concludes our Judge Dredd podcast.
Where you got about half an hour of Judge Dredd and another 20 minutes of a celebrity poop.
Please
For real,
pass.
though.
I do want to add one thing. There is going to be a drawing for a copy of Judge Dredd. You will get a Blu-ray and digital copy. So you need to like, subscribe, and share this episode. If you give us a rating on iTunes, you will be entered 5 times.
Oh, wow. It's
So
cooking
even
the
if you give
books.
us a 1, that will be the first rating.
Yeah.
So give us a like, a subscribe, and a share. Comment on this episode, and you will get into the drawing. We will announce the winner next episode, and then send it out. We'll
Well, we
message
won't
you.
announce it next episode because sometimes we will record multiple in the same week.
So 2 weeks from now, we will announce the winner.
Yep.
And 2 or 3 weeks, whenever. Sometime in the near distant future, we will announce the winner.
Someone will win a copy of this Blu-ray.
Awesome.
So, like, subscribe, share.
And the consolation prize is my personal Blu-ray copy that doesn't play in the United States.
If you're a Brito,
That I paid way too much money for. And then it came in and it is
Pal.
region locked.
region locked to B.
Why do
Thanks.
they do that?
I don't know.
It's big Hollywood for you.
But anyway, so you'll win that as well. That's second place.
You get
you get a copy of Dredd that works in the UK. So if you ever go abroad, guess what?
I'm sure you can probably download a thing on your computer and be able
It's
to
like
watch
You
the
can
Blu-ray.
only change your region on any device 10 times.
Oh wow.
There has to
And
be some software.
No, there's no way to override it. It cooks it into the hardware.
So yeah,
That's what they
that-
thought
that
until
tr-
the kid cracked the 2 lines of code for copying a DVD.
just one.
Nothing
Yeah,
is
but that
impossible
wasn't
until it's
hardware.
possible.
Do you know how much people are trying to crack region codes?
Nothing is impossible until it's possible.
Region
Hey,
codes
Tasty
are impossible.
Tacos, not a S impossible.
No, that's
Yeah,
true.
except if you want it on Sunday,
That's true.
because it's closed on Sunday.
They are. I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
it sucks, because every time I'm like, man, I really want Tasty Taco. Always on a Sunday, and I go, crap, it's closed.
Gotta go to church.
I don't know, dude. I want some fucking poppers now.
Go to Satan church. Am I right?
So, hail Satan,
Yep.
hail Urban,
Go watch Dredd. It's amazing.
hail Dredd.
Unless you want to win it.
Then rate, like, and comment, subscribe, and all that fun stuff. We'll put your name in a random name generator. We'll send you a message on Facebook to let you know that you've won. And we will pay for postage and everything else.
Also, you should like my tweets. You won't win anything, but I'll feel really nice.
You know, I still get every now and then like a new Twitter follower. Probably from listening to them old episodes, which I'm really sorry that those exist, people. But anyway, yeah, if you want to follow me on Twitter, that's at AndyJoeP. And then I'm on Instagram as something. I don't know what the hell I am.
Don't follow me on Instagram.
My Instagram is really boring. It's just family pictures. So I can show off to all the other family people I follow that follow me.
And I don't care about Twitter, so
Yeah, David hasn't fucking checked his Twitter in like 10 years.
I check it every once in a while just so I can get the stupid numbers off my screen.
I'm TDAR777 on literally everything.
And he tweets greatness.
Sometimes. My most
Did you
recent
know
one-
that snakes don't have butts?
Yeah, wow. Snakes don't have asses.
Yeah.
That's just a little treat.
That's a taste of
The taste of the greatness.
wonderful goodness that you
And
can
then
expect from
I
Brady's
tried
Twitter.
I tried to respond to it. Yeah, but they have dicks.
Which is, yeah.
And what happened was dicks got misspelled as something else. So then I had to
Dicks.
reply.
You could just delete it.
Yeah, just deleted it.
Why doesn't Twitter have an edit?
It's final.
Fuck.
They want the stupidest thoughts of every human being to be final.
I guess.
Yeah,
You're gonna post this stupid thing, it's there forever.
live with it.
Screen cap.
Screen cap.
All right, this has been 30 and Nerdy. Thank you. My name is David.
My name's AJ.
Brady.
Judgment time. You betray the law, you betray the city. The sentence is death. Rookie, you ready?
Yeah.
You look ready.